In 1953, the first televised broadcast of the Oscars aired.
September 26, 1960, the first ever televised debate between presidential nominees.
This news service will be called the Cable News Network and will program continually updated half-hour segments, 24 hours a day.
The 1980 National Football League College Player Draft, a history-making day.
Welcome to MTV Music Television, the world's first 24-hour stereo video music channel.
HBO is bringing a new show to HBO Max in 2026. For our new program, we're just going to have a live stream of George R.R. Martin struggling to finish the final 2 Game of Thrones books before his tragic but inevitable demise. We'll be following him around, harassing him with cameras, and running constant ads for Ozempic in the bottom right corner. It's going to be great. Also, we're making Season 9 of Game of Thrones, and it's somehow going to be worse than Season 8 was. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am the one and only David of David's Davids, and today, I'd like to talk to you about content. Have you ever noticed that there's a lot of content being shoved down our marketed to us these days? Politics, sports, entertainment, news, shopping, vacationing, existing, literally anything a person could do is being turned into a marketable, advertisement-filled event that never stops. But why? Why are we doing that? Stop doing that. Okay, you can keep doing that one. But seriously, why does every single thing on Earth have to be broadcast on television, streamed live on Twitch, uploaded to YouTube, or beamed directly to our Neuralink so that we never have to have an independent thought ever again? Actually, who thought televised media was a good idea at all? Way back in the faraway year of 1928, everyone was breathing a big sigh of relief over the fact that World War I had been over for 10 years, and there was never going to be another big war, or any stock market crashes. To celebrate this fact, people were dressing crazy, they were dancing crazy, they were listening to crazy music, and they were watching TV. Well, probably like 50 people were watching TV. Because in 1928, the first ever television broadcast aired. Just 3 years later, TV had become so popular that CBS had begun airing its first 7-day-a-week television schedule, starting in July of 1931. Television executives figured out they could broadcast new types of content. And so they did. In 1939, a baseball game
I am gifted. I'm just slopping over with talent.
Was broadcast to around 400 television sets that were capable of receiving the signal. You could broadcast sports. Heck, maybe you could broadcast other things too. 1939 was a great year with nothing but good news on the horizon. For those first 10 blissful, beautiful years, television was only used to air content. But apparently, the 1940s were not as fun as the 1930s. And I think we all know why. Ads.
Want a break from the ads?
The first official paid advertisement to appear on television was on July 1st, 1941. And I think we can all agree that was by far the worst thing to happen to the United States of America in that year. Do not fact check me on that one. It was downhill from there. TV stations realized you could make more money by broadcasting more ads, and you could broadcast more ads if you broadcast more content. So, the content wars began. The content war has. Spurred on by visions of dollar signs, advertisers decided it was time to think bigger. What about broadcasting an awards show? Hey, what about the Oscars? You could broadcast that. And they did. The first live television broadcast of the Oscars occurred in 1953. Wait, what if we could televise other stuff? You could televise politicians doing their incredibly boring jobs. And they did, as the first C-SPAN broadcast went live in 1979. Wait, you could televise college athletes getting drafted into the NFL. And they did, with the NFL draft first being televised in 1980. You could just televise music, and they did, with MTV first airing in 1981. You could televise just straight up advertisements, and they did, with the Shopping Channel debuting in 1985.
Now it's locked in place.
But it still wasn't enough. For you see, at night, TV stations were still airing 3 to 5 hours of static. And you can't sell advertising slots for static. Many TV executives well into the 20th century did not believe that there was any kind of market for broadcasting 24 hours a day. I mean, really, who wants to watch How to Lose a Guy in 7 days, 7 days, 7 days, for the 35th time at 4:15 a.m. on a Wednesday night?
You wanted to lose a guy in 10 days. Congratulations. You did it. You just lost him.
No, I didn't, Ben. Because you can't lose something you never had.
This film is a cinematic masterpiece. It turns out the answer was everybody. And in 1980, Ted Turner launched CNN, the cable news network. The idea was simple. If you pulled in national and international news to supplement the local news of your town, you could air news 24 hours a day. And he was right. But although CNN was airing a 24-hour-a-day schedule, the idea of the 24-hour news cycle was not yet popular among the American people. In fact, it would not become popular until O.J. Simpson? Wait, really? O.J. Simpson ruined TV? I mean, that's gotta be the worst thing that O.J. Simpson has ever done. That's right. O.J. Simpson's trial, which was broadcast 24 hours a day and culminated with the verdict being read live on television in the courtroom, helped create some of the most intense demand ever for the 24-hour per day news cycle and sowed the seeds for the rise of reality television. With the realization that audience members had a hunger for live, unscripted, dramatic content, came the rise of reality TV.
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion!
The idea was simple. Why pay a lot of money to make predictable, well-written, scripted content when you could pay much less money to make predictable, poorly written, scripted content that was pretending to be unscripted content?
Dang it! You know, Lenny, I want to apologize. I was told that they had properly tested that drone before that flight today.
Well, it's okay, Charles. I've seen enough to know what's going on. These guys were stealing my meat. These guys are stealing my customers. These guys are stealing my business. This is so up.
You know, Lenny, you're right.
And it was a huge hit. Reality TV quickly began to dominate the TV landscape of the 2000s and well into the 2010s.
Dang it!
But there was a new challenger for the ever-shortening attention span of the global consumer. Its name was the internet.
Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found.
The problem with reality TV is it's not actually reality. They stage it, they script it, they fake it so that they can ratchet up the drama. But people don't want to see that. They don't want fake stuff. People want to see reality. People want to see unscripted stuff. People want to see you. Tube. You see what I did there? First conceived as a dating website, YouTube quickly shifted into becoming a more generalized platform where people could upload funny videos of themselves, their pets, or anything else that caught their fancy to be shared and viewed by friends and family members.
And that's pretty much all there is to say.
Then it shifted again into a full-time career for thousands of people. As YouTube became more popular and YouTubers became more popular, YouTube started selling, you guessed it, ads. And they gave some of that holy ad revenue to the actual creators.
We are compassion.
In addition, companies would approach these creators after they had gotten popular enough and ask them to sell products for them. Suddenly, you could make a living off of just videoing stuff. Broadcasting money was no longer reserved for TV and movies. Anyone could become a broadcast mogul. You could become a broadcast mogul. You could make money off of televising yourself playing games. Or opening Pokemon cards.
100 booster packs of Pokemon 151, and today we're going to be opening up every single one of them.
Or creating skit content.
I'm going to knock you out so I don't hear your stupid voice saying everything I'm saying.
Or filming yourself doing the most mundane, average, boring things that a human being could ever do and calling it a vlog.
Let's have some coffee. Let's see if my toothpaste wore off yet. Ugh, no, it didn't. That's the thing. But I'm still gonna drink it.
The people hunger for more content, and now you, yes, you can create it. No longer does reality TV have to have a sole monopoly on trashy content. Now you can record your cousin and your uncle fighting at Thanksgiving over the fact that they both slept with the same girl and upload that to YouTube and get rich, provided you have enough watch hours and also enough subscribers. And also your content doesn't get demonetized. And also, it doesn't break any copyright guidelines. But if you do all those things, you can get rich. Probably not, but maybe. And isn't the idea of money worth selling your soul and making every single piece of your life into content?
Former momfluencer Ruby Franke was sentenced to 4 to 60 years in a Utah prison.
The growing popularity of YouTube quickly proved that not only was there a market of people who wanted to create content, there was also a growing market of people who wanted to consume user-generated content, which led to a revelation for savvy marketers. Why make your own content when you could make other people, make content for you for free? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, Snapchat, Tumblr, Reddit, 9gag, iFunny, and many, many more social media apps popped up. Instead of paying a lot of money to create high-quality content, pay a little money to let everybody else create low-quality content, and then just provide a platform for them to host it on so you can run thousands of ads. You can bring people together.
But because of all of this technology, many of us feel more socially isolated than ever before.
With this new development, we never have to have a moment of silence ever again. It's too quiet. Play something! And with this rise in digital content, TV producers began to see the writing on the wall that traditional TV was in decline. And so, they pivoted. Classic broadcast-style television was replaced with streaming services. After all, why would you want to sit in front of your television at 3 a.m. and watch Ice Age 3 Dawn of the Dinosaurs on Ion Television when you could lay in your bed at 3 a.m. and watch Ice Age 3 Dawn of the Dinosaurs on your phone on the Disney Plus app? Thanks to the exciting new digital content landscape, you can open your streaming service, watch a TV show, then go on Twitter and talk about the TV show, and then go on YouTube and watch a review of the TV show, and then go on Instagram and post a photo of yourself watching the TV show, and then go on Facebook and read your boomer aunt's conspiracy theory post about how grass is now 4 shades lighter than it used to be when she was a kid, and she remembers when it was still dark when she was growing up. And then you can go back to your computer, open up Spotify, put on some lo-fi, and then listen to that lo-fi while you pull up a new tab and open a pirated stream of the pickleball draft narrated by the Rizzler and Joe Buck for some reason. And then after you do all of that, you can make an appointment online to go see your optometrist because looking at all this blue light has made you go blind. Is this much digital content good for us? Some people might argue that digital content is just a new evolution. After all, content hasn't changed that much. There's an old meme that used to make that argument. It had a photo of people on the subway on their phones, and a much older photo of people on the subway reading newspapers. The idea is simple. Even back before phones, people still chose to consume content rather than interact with each other. There are some very important and notable differences that I think you have to take into account. Number one, you can't pull up a video clip of anything you want on your newspaper. You can't look for a good Chinese place to order from after work on your newspaper. You can't call your ex-situationship and beg them to go on a date with you just one more time on your newspaper. The comparison between phones and newspapers goes about as far as your morning commute on the subway. Once you step out of the car and onto the platform, you're in a whole new world. The constant contentification of the world has no parallel in years past. You didn't used to be able to communicate anything humans do to every human on Earth. And while the concept of turning everything anybody does into a piece of content may be new, the fact that people are falling for it is not. If people are watching content, someone will make it. The only way to stop the constant, unending barrage of content is to stop consuming it. Do you dislike watching the Oscars, where unfathomably rich actors make an award show where they congratulate each other on having made expensive movies that make everybody involved unfathomably richer? Well, stop watching the Oscars then. Do you dislike the NFL draft, where rich college athletes congratulate each other on being drafted by NFL teams where they will now become unfathomably richer? Well, stop watching the NFL draft. Do you dislike watching streamers sit blankly in front of their webcam and read out the names of people who've donated to them as they become unfathomably richer? Well then, stop donating $500 to Pokimane so that she will say your name on stream, James. Stop it, James. She's not going to date you. Spend your money more wisely. Spend it on things that matter, like the giant Home Depot skeleton. I guess it's a reflection of my own opinions that most of my video essays seem to end on the same conclusion. You have to be responsible for your actions. I know. I'm not happy about it either. Shaking our fist at the sky and lamenting the horrors of society is all well and good, but society is really just a fancy word for a bunch of people. If you want a society to change, the people have to change. You have to change. You have to choose not to participate in the endless content tornado. Or maybe you like everything how it is. Maybe you're perfectly happy with the way our world works. And if that's the case, then I assume that you are in fact a marketing executive. But I know that I, for one, like to step back from the great contentification of our lives and just live in the moment every now and then. Just for a little while. See? Isn't that nice? Oh, hold on. I think I have a new Instagram notification. I just gotta give me 1 second.